27 June 2020. And today I want to take you through a very interesting press conference that was held yesterday by Godfrey Tsenengamu, in which Mnangagwa was given 10 days ultimatum. So the 10 days will end between 7 July and 10 July. And Tsenengamu said action is going to be taken after those 10 days. He refused to say what action is going to be taken, and he refused to say who is backing his action. So after the action that he's going to take against Mnangagwa, who is going to benefit or who is going to take over? He refused to say in that 1 hour, in fact, over 1 hour press conference that was attended by journalists, and also he refused to say who is funding the whole operation. So this is not something to take lightly. This is a very serious situation because the name of Mnangagwa was mentioned. The names of Mnangagwa's sons were mentioned. And then I think the rest of the stuff that was being talked about was just to support. So what we are going to see now is within the next 10 days, we're going to see either Godfrey Tsenengamu getting arrested, and if he's not arrested, we're going to know that he's being backed by very, very powerful people. And I want to go through the grievances. But first, he said they will be running. Some of us are going to be there after the 10 days, and some of us are not going to be there. We are going to act, but we will not say what we will do. And then that the action will be a big action. It won't be a small thing. This is being said to a sitting head of state in Zimbabwe. And I think you understand what kind of Zimbabwe, what kind of country Zimbabwe is. This is not something that you just do. You don't threaten Mnangagwa and nothing happens to you. If that happens, if Godfrey Tsenengamu is walking around, you must be sure that there is someone very, very powerful who is backing him. So the biggest complaints that has made Godfrey Tsenengamu and his group or his movement to come out, they say it's because of the economic crisis, corruption, tribalism, and catch and release. So let us go through the corruption. They are saying Mnangagwa is involved in corruption in the drugs matter. So the drugs matter is where COVID materials were bought, and it is purported that Mnangagwa and his family benefited through overpricing of these COVID materials. That is PPEs, testing materials that were bought, some of it from Dubai, some of it from Namibia. They are said to have benefited. And Tsenengamu named Mnangagwa as being part of that corruption. He also named his sons. He also named Delishu Nguwaya, and he named Obadiah Moyo. He also named Zak for not acting against Mnangagwa. So this was the corruption part. On Mnangagwa's sons, he said Mnangagwa's sons have been going out and invading other people's mining claims. So this is one of the allegations. And then he also talked about Billy, Tafadzwa, and Kuda. These are the people that he talked about before. And then he said, I am not attacking everyone in ZANU-PF or ZANU-PF. So he made it clear that is not attacking ZANU-PF or everyone in ZANU-PF, because he says there are people in ZANU-PF that are fed up with the corruption that is taking place. So that is very, very interesting. On the economic crisis, he looked at the price increases, high prices that are affecting people in Zimbabwe. He looked at unemployment. he looked at policy inconsistencies. He said, if you look at the policies of Mthuli Ncube and the policies of John Mangunja, they change daily. Now, look at what happened overnight today. They've just banned mobile transactions. This is the kind of thing that I was talking about. A policy comes today, the very next day, a new policy comes. There is no certainty in the market. Right, let's look at the last one, which is tribalism. He mentioned that there is a lot of tribalism, and I think this means Mnangagwa is surrounding himself with his relatives, with people of the Karanga tribe. That is very important. You need to remember what I said before, that eventually this is going to become a tribal issue between the Zezurus and the Karangas. It's going there slowly. So the tribalism issue was raised. And then he named some stakeholders, that is people. So instead of, let's say, ZAC, which he said is not doing its job, they've created their own ZACT, which is a place where you can report corruption. So that is the Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Citizen Task Force, which is going to be having a hotline. There's a National Affirmative Action Trust of Zimbabwe. Then he says he's got people with security experience, he's got lawyers, and there will be a hotline to be given out in the next few days. So these are the structures, the stakeholders that you're going to be able to see and talk to within the next few days. We are having here a structure that is based within ZANU-PF, not really as part of the party, but acting outside the main ZANU-PF party, but also not fighting ZANU-PF. It's clear. Tsenengamu said people in ZANU-PF are fed up with what's happening with Mnangagwa and his family. And this was said in a public press conference. You can go to ZimEye, you can go to other online media houses and watch that 1 hour and some minutes press conference. So, what are we going to see between now and 7 July? I suspect that we're going to see a lot of action. Mnangagwa has not responded. His family has not responded. There are other actions taking place. So there's the 29 June action. You've seen, if you've been looking at online, you'll see that there's an action taking place on 29 June. The Tyson Wabantu movement is going to be launching some action. They've given notice for 29 June. I've also seen 29 June everywhere. I don't know what is going to happen on 29 June. We now have the ZCTU, which has said from now onwards, starting on Mondays, ending on Fridays, there will be demonstrations. Nurses and doctors are no longer going to hospital, to their stations. And what is left is for the general public to have confidence to go on the street. The students, they've already started going out. If you've looked on social media, you have seen that students have been going to address the public at bus stations. So wherever they're gathering, the students have been going there to address. So you are seeing here the stage being set for Mnangagwa's resignation. Pressure is being applied. But who is behind the pressure? This is a very big question. Right, now looking back at Tsenengamu, Tsenengamu knows the key players in ZANU-PF. He's not just going to come out without talking to them. I can conclude authoritatively that Tsenengamu has got backing. He knows the people that he's talked to, and he knows whether they're going to back him or not. So at this moment, what is left is for people that are backing Tsenengamu to get the support of the military, and then things will go well for them. Their plans will go well. 7 July to 10 July. So 7 July to 10 July, we're going to see action if the military just sits back and does nothing. Also, if you look at all the criticism that Tsenengamu has given during his press conference, he never mentioned the Zimbabwe military. He never mentioned General Chiwenga as part of the corruption. He mentioned everybody else, but he never mentioned the guys in the military. If that's not deliberate, it is a strategy. Then, looking at the next few months, I can say, and I repeat the words that Tsenengamu used, he said that the state at which we are now, we're at the level that made our parents go to the liberation war. The situation is such that we cannot continue any longer. And I agree with him. The situation in Zimbabwe is such that something has to give. The economy has collapsed to a level where people can no longer feed their families. And this is the kind of stuff that makes change happen, even if people are cowards. Right now, if a small little flame can ignite the whole situation, and the Zimbabwe military will be forced to choose sides. So if they want to control the situation, they have to be ahead of what is happening. And this is what I think is happening here. I've got the number of Godfrey Tsenengamu. I do not want to say a lot today. I want to talk to him. I want to bring him on the platform. So very soon, during the week, I want to bring him so that he can explain or give us more detail on what action are they going to take between the 7th of July and the 10th of July. They've given Mnangagwa 10 days. What is going to happen in the 10 days? What is Mnangagwa supposed to do in 10 days in terms of corruption, in terms of economic crisis, in terms of tribalism? What is going to happen? Remember Mugabe? He was given an ultimatum. And we also started to see the sons of Mugabe being attacked before his removal. Is Mnangagwa refusing to resign? Is that what is pushing this situation? Right, very interesting press conference. I think I've given you enough information in 10 minutes. If you want to read or understand more about this press conference, which was held by Godfrey Tsenengamu, please go online on YouTube. You'll find it on ZimEye. Thank you very much for watching. If you're watching this on WhatsApp, send it to as many people as possible. If you're watching this on YouTube and Facebook, please like, comment, and share.